All right, so we've made it to the end of the term. I just have a few concluding remarks. Um, One, there is a document I've put into Learn, Critical Elements of Software Engineering. This is basically my summary of the material that we cover in the software engineering course. But it's written from the perspective of when you're on a software team, or in fact, in a lot of cases, you're on any team, these are the things that you should be looking to see that you actually have in place. Otherwise, something's probably going to go wrong. So it's got things in there like you need some way to keep track of tasks. You really should have daily stand-up meetings and so forth and so on. And it breaks it down, and you'll see that for all of those elements, they're tied back to the material that we covered in the course. And you should go, oh yeah, we had something like that in the course, and we learned about that, and that was one of those critical elements of software engineering. So it's sort of like sometimes students want, oh, well, what's going to be on the final exam? Well, again, the whole course is on the final exam. But in this document, I give you basically my perspective of the summary of the course and what's really the critical stuff to keep in mind. And as you head into like fourth year design project down the road, I think this, I hope a document like that is something that you could pull up and take a look at and go, yeah, whereas we're running our project, we need to remember to do some of these things. You don't have to do Scrum. You don't have to do extreme programming, but you're going to need these elements. Otherwise, there's going to be issues in the way that the project goes. There's going to be problems. So take a look at that. What else for me to say? These are very different times. You've now had 2 courses with me, both of them done remotely, both of them a lot of work. And in many ways, you in both of these courses have covered new material. So you were the very first cohort to take MSci 245. Sure, we used to have a databases course, and we used to have this information systems and analysis and design course, but 245 is a new course, and 245 is designed to lead into the 342, the software engineering course. And obviously, as you can see, because you're continuing using all that same technology. And so whenever you're the first, I haven't optimized the course, and you end up getting, the best I can do at that time, but it's a learning experience for both of us. And so with 342, now I've taught it for many years. I think this is maybe the 6th time I've taught it. It's 5th or 6th time, I don't remember which, but it's the first time I taught it with the 245 material preceding it. So I went and I updated a lot of lectures. I changed the orders of things. We've covered actually a lot more material this year, especially with all the material on testing compared to previous years. So I'm really happy with that. Is this a great way to have your education doing all this remotely? No, but it is a safe way. And I'm glad that we've been able to do this, and we've been able to keep people safe while still being able to continue your education and not slow it down. So I really want to give you, all my thanks and my appreciation for your hard work in 245 and in 342, for all the feedback that you've given me. I've seen so much work done on these projects, and I'm really, very, very pleased and proud of so many of the good engineering practices that you guys are following and doing, and I'm very happy with all of that. So really, hands off, clap to you, applause, whatever. I'm sincere about that. I mean that. There's a few things you might note that I don't have the Sprint 2 dev process marks to you yet. I'm still working on those. We're doing our dog fooding of Sprint 3. I'm trying to catch up on some of that marking. I'm doing that marking because it's the first time we've ever paid attention at that level and that detail. So when I get behind, then the marking gets behind. Thankfully, the other marking has tended to stay fairly up to date, although again, everything in the pandemic, as you know, is a lot harder with all this remote work. We are trying our best, and I appreciate your understanding of that as well. We're going to have test 2. What's test 2 going to be like? Test 2 is going to be a lot like test 1, although probably a little bit longer. Okay, we're going to have some material on it that I've had from between when we had test 1 and the end of the term. So obviously, to cover that material, I've got to put it on test 2. Okay, yeah, that's basically it. Again, thank you, and I wish you the very best luck with your all your final exams, and as we wrap up and conclude MSci 342. Very good. Best of wishes and best luck. All right, goodbye.